Huh? You think I'm worried about the police right now?
No.
I keep telling you, I don't give a fuck about no police, you heard?
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, stop playing with me. Bitch, will pull up right now. Pull up.
Okay.
Pull up. Pull up.
Uh-huh. No, it was just, I apologize.
What's up?
Because I couldn't go live on my phone. My page is blocked.
Bitch wanna be famous, I'm gonna make them famous.
No.
Wanna be famous, I'm gonna make you famous.
No.
No. Everybody wanna be famous, let's be famous today.
Okay.
Huh? I do.
Yes.
He's telling you I get on these bitch level.
No.
Go.
Stop, Jonathan. Stop, Jonathan.
It was a live stream that started like so many others. A woman sat on a bed, her face close to the phone's camera. But something was terribly wrong. Her eyes were wide with a fear that was palpable, even through a screen. The shaky camera work wasn't her doing. A man's voice, cold and demanding, could be heard just off camera, dictating her every word. He forced her to apologize to another woman, to humiliate herself publicly for an online audience that was growing by the second. This was not a performance. It was a prelude to a horrific and very public execution. This is the story of Rannita Williams, a murder that was broadcast to the world, and the man who believed a social media feud was a reason to kill. To understand this tragedy, we have to look at the people involved. Welcome to CrimeLab Report, where we dissect the facts behind the most shocking true crime cases. As we bring you the full story, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now let's begin. Rannita Williams, known to her friends and family as Nunu, was a 27-year-old mother of 3 from Shreveport, Louisiana. By all accounts, she was a vibrant and devoted mother who built a small business as an interior decorator. She was active on social media, using it to connect with clients and share glimpses of her life. Her ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Robinson, was a figure defined by a long and violent history. His criminal record was not a minor one. It was a chronicle of escalating violence that began in the year 2000. He had been convicted of robbery, involved in a drive-by shooting, and served 7 years in prison for shooting a man in the leg during a dispute. Most tellingly, his record included domestic abuse. In 2015, he was arrested for ramming his girlfriend's car and using her as a human shield. He received only probation. In 2017, he violated that probation by assaulting the same woman again and served a mere 60 days in jail. This was the man Rannita Williams had been in a relationship with, a man the justice system had multiple opportunities to stop but failed to. Their relationship was volatile and often played out for everyone to see online. They had a classic on-again, off-again dynamic that was punctuated by public arguments and social media rants, often on Facebook Live. Robinson was simultaneously involved with another woman, Shreveport Taylor, who lived in Houston, Texas. Both women were aware of each other, and their conflict was not a secret. It was a public spectacle. They exchanged words and accusations online, a digital feud that Robinson seemed to fuel. Eventually, Rannita made the decision to finally end the relationship for good and move on with her life. She started seeing someone new. For most, this would be a step toward a safer future, but for a man like Jonathan Robinson, this was the ultimate rejection, a final insult he would not tolerate. His behavior became increasingly threatening. He began stalking her, showing up at places he knew she would be, and confronting her violently in public. The digital harassment was now spilling over into the physical world, creating a climate of intense fear. The tension was rising, and the online drama was about to have devastating real-world consequences. The morning of April 12, 2018, began with a violent intrusion. Jonathan Robinson forced his way into Rannita Williams' home on Natalie Street in Shreveport. He was armed with an AK-47 style rifle. Her mother and brother were present in the house, creating a situation of extreme danger for the entire family. Robinson's actions were deliberate and focused. He specifically demanded that Rannita go live on Facebook. His objective was to force a public apology to his other girlfriend, Shreveport Taylor, for previous online comments. This was not a spontaneous act of rage. It was a calculated move to humiliate and dominate. Under the direct threat of lethal violence, Rannita complied with his demand. The live stream began, capturing her forced apology and his controlling presence just off camera. This initial live stream ended, but the situation was far from over. Robinson left the home but returned shortly afterward. His return signaled a clear escalation. He was not satisfied with the humiliation alone. His intent was far more sinister. He forced Rannita to go live on Facebook for a second time. It was during this broadcast that the situation reached its horrific climax. The online audience, tuning in perhaps expecting more drama, became unwitting witnesses to a murder. Robinson fired multiple shots at Rannita Williams. While the camera was still rolling, the audio captured the devastating sounds of the attack and her pleas for life. He was heard stating, "Game over," as the phone fell to the ground, leaving viewers in a state of shock and horror. The public nature of the crime triggered an immediate and urgent police response. Officers arrived at the scene while the live stream was still active. Robinson did not surrender. Instead, he initiated a prolonged armed standoff with the police. He fired at the officers, demonstrating a complete disregard for a human life beyond his initial target. Over 30 rounds were exchanged during the confrontation. One officer, Corporal Robert Entrikin, was grazed on the wrist by a bullet. The standoff lasted for approximately 80 minutes, paralyzing the neighborhood with fear. His eventual surrender came only after he had exhausted his ammunition and was persuaded by a phone call from Shreveport Taylor.
Jonathan?
Don't be strong.
Right.
Be strong.
Right.
I love you.
Right. But bother you no more, okay? You go back to Texas, okay? Be strong. Take care of them kids. Take care of my kids. Okay. Alright. Don't worry about me, okay? Hear me?
I'm gonna be there. Not on the scale. I'm lost.
Me too.
12 hours out already.
I am too, baby. Just be strong. Alright?
You know this ain't what I wanted.
I know, but I'm tired of you bugging you, man. I was so tired. I had you.
No. I just didn't want nothing to happen to you. And I heard the gunshots. I lost it. I don't want nobody else hurt. You know I'm so against violence. You know that. I'm beat up for you.
His arrest marked the end of the immediate violence, but the beginning of a legal reckoning. The legal proceedings that followed were swift. During a police interview, Jonathan Robinson confessed to the murder. He stated clearly that he had woken up that morning with the specific intent to kill Rannita Williams. He detailed his premeditated plan, which included not only her murder, but also a shootout with police officers. He was so aware of the nature of his crime that he explicitly requested to be charged with first-degree murder. This confession removed any doubt about his state of mind and his acceptance of responsibility for his calculated actions. In January 2019, Robinson pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. As part of a plea agreement, he received a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. An additional 100 years were added to his sentence for the attempted murder of the police officers during the standoff. This outcome ensured he would never be released from prison.
I didn't know it was going to happen. I just never shared it with nobody because I knew what I wanted in my heart and what I believe in. I didn't believe in killing nobody. I never believed in killing nobody. Not just him, nobody. Not even an enemy. So why? No, I'm glad justice has been served. Everything is gone. Everything is okay. So I feel a lot better now. Now I can rest. Now me and my family can go on with our life, you know. It's over with. It's no more. So it's nothing else to talk. The decision has been made between us and everybody else. So we feel a lot better. It hurts me. It hurts me so bad. By killing Jonathan, it's not going to bring Rannita back. None whatsoever. So decision has been made, and that's what it is.
When did the DA let you know that this would happen?
We have been talking about months. We have been talking about months. He had asked me my decision, and he gave me his decision. So at the end of the day, the decision that was made was my decision. So no one else could look at the DA, no one else, no other different. I made that decision. So that is what it is.
Did Robinson reach out to you anyway?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I never let no one know. It was privacy. Every time he reached out to me, I never let no one know. This wasn't the first time he apologized to me. It's about the third time with letters and writing. I just never let no one know what was going on with me. From this time on, it was just private. Whatever went on, it was private between me and my family. Yes, he did reach out, and I forgive him. I forgive him, but I never will forget. Thank you.
Thank you.
He offered an apology to Rannita Williams' mother, Anita Williams, who publicly stated her forgiveness. This interaction provided a complex footnote to the judicial conclusion. The case of Rannita Williams underscores a critical failure in the justice system's handling of repeat offenders with a history of domestic violence. Robinson's extensive criminal record, including previous domestic abuse convictions, presented multiple opportunities for intervention that were not fully utilized.
We have this case, and I don't want to go into particulars of the charges that Jonathan Robinson faces now.
Okay.
But in 2014, he was arrested on a drug charge, possession with intent to distribute, along with 2 other defendants. Roughly about 2.5 years later, that case was dismissed.
Why were the charges against Jonathan Robinson dismissed?
It wasn't a prosecutable case because it was a constructive possession case. And in a constructive possession case, the law says mere presence around either drugs or around someone else is not necessarily constructive possession.
Why did it take so long to get rid of that case then?
That case started more than a year and a half before I got here, okay? And they were doing some additional investigations on him and the other co-defendants, and ultimately one of the co-defendants got some federal time out of Houston, 25 years, and the case was dismissed then.
So that's the reason it was actually dismissed, because one of the defendants was charges pending against him? This case wasn't dismissed because charges were pending against one defendant in Texas in federal court, and charges were pending against Robinson here for an armed robbery charge?
Okay, let's not get them all mixed up, okay? This case was dismissed because it wasn't a prosecutable case, and one of the other defendants was convicted somewhere else. So it's one of those cases, the only way you'll get a conviction is if the defendant pleads, okay? And the defendants did not plead, and it was time to make a decision on the case, and it wasn't prosecutable.
It had nothing to do with the $3,000 that the appointed public defender wanted to do his own investigation?
No, it had nothing to do with that at all.
Okay. The 2016 case, we talked about that already. That was also another unprosecutable case.
That case was rejected. I mean, so it never, the person who asked for the arrest later came back and said this is not an armed robbery, okay? The warrants against the other 2 persons were recalled, and this one was dismissed because after further investigation they determined it wasn't an armed robbery, and they actually arrested the so-called victim in the case.
The last one that I want to ask about was the 2015 case against him that was false imprisonment, resisting arrest, 2 domestic assault battery cases. That case, he gets 2 years probation, or 2 years for a probation violation, 2 months, excuse me. Robinson gets 2 months for a probation violation. That seems like a very short, easy sentence for someone who's a convicted violent felon.
Okay, let's go back. Those were not felonies. All those were misdemeanors. They were all filed in one bill, and under Louisiana law, the maximum you can get on those groups of whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 is 6 months. Okay, and my records show that he was sentenced to 6 months. He violated the probation, and the judge actually gave him 2 months, but that's up to the judge. So I'm saying that was prosecuted satisfactorily. He got the most he could get on the charges, and what the judge did later is totally on the judge, not the system.
This story highlights the potential for online conflicts to escalate into physical violence and the dire consequences when threats are not taken seriously. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of believing victims and advocating for stronger protective measures and legal accountability for perpetrators of domestic violence. My deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Rannita Williams. May she rest in peace, and may you find strength and comfort during this difficult time.